How we doing, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast. I am your host, Richie. On this rather tumultuous evening, it's panic time. The New York Yankees are on their way to catching their first loss of the season. I know. Tomorrow there'll be all kinds of bitching. Fire Boone, they only got 2 freaking hits. I'm just waiting for tomorrow. Tonight on our show, we're going to be giving you a rundown of what we believe should be going down in the NFC and AFC East draft picks. We are personalizing the light on the 4 teams of each division, and we're going to be hitting hard on how we feel that could go, plus with the influence of potential trades. We are also going to be hitting on, it's official, Arizona 7, the Yankees nothing. They kept the Yankees out of the end zone. We're also going to be hitting on widespread what went down in Major League Baseball and what our take is of basically the first week of the season. We're going to be hitting on some Final Four talk for the men's and women's. Very exciting stuff going on in college basketball. And we're going to talk about why potentially the NFL has a legitimate culture problem. With me tonight, we've got my man out in Winter Haven, Florida, Mr. Brett Bandick. Welcome to the show, bud.
Thanks for having me, my guy. Been a long time.
Yes, good to see you here, bro. And, as the draft gets closer, it's like any other time in football history. It just seems like our teams just stay linked, and there are rumors that the Patriots and Giants maybe do indeed do some business together. Vikings have 2 picks they could trade. We're going to elaborate on that. We've got my man Idris Salam, a.k.a. Bosco, from the Bronx. Window 2. Welcome back, bro.
What's up, man?
Chilling, man. Yeah, feeling good, man. Feeling good today.
Tumultuous Tuesday.
Yeah, Yankees finally catch an L.
Caught a big one too.
Yeah. I will say this: majority of the damage.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it.
Yeah. There he
this
is.
guy, Mike Zappy, San Antonio, Texas.
This is the face of a guy that takes his son to opening night of our double A affiliate to the San Diego Padres to only arrive to the stadium and realize the game is next Tuesday. Yeah.
Dang.
It's another good night, gentlemen. Let's go. Hey, but I will say this. Yankees, we know 5-1 now, but D-backs, they have come out this year and they are rolling.
They're coming to play.
Oh,
man.
yeah. D-backs are playing some good baseball as well. Right. When I look at the month of April, I just want my team to win as many games as possible. That's what I think about because they all count. And in the dog days of summer, it can be really grueling. You have those bad August, bad July. That's why getting off to an excellent start in April actually matters. But I just can't wait to these social media posts tomorrow. You're going to hear everything wrong.
Yeah, fire.
I already heard yesterday after Luis Hill was relieved, approaching the 90 pitch mark, 84 to be exact, if I'm not mistaken. I can't believe they didn't keep him in. He needed 1 out to get the win. It's going to ruin his morale. I'm like, bro, ruin his morale? That man is coming off Tommy John surgery, and he just helped his team in a big way, playing in a major league game against the defending National League champions.
Yeah.
These people are stupid, man. Some of these people, I'm like, did you guys even play Little League? Like, shut up, guys.
Yeah, you got to put them on a pitch count. You have to.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. This time of year, you got to put them on a pitch count, especially with, your ace is out for a while. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to burn anybody out that's in the, starting rotation.
Yeah. Yeah. But, we got goofy fans, man. You're gonna say fire boom tomorrow, man.
I'm like, how can you be this upset? This is our best start since 2003. a year that we won the American League, lost to the Florida Marlins, now Miami, Florida Marlins at the time, 6 games. Dontrelle Willis, Josh Beckett combo. That was an epic series over the Boston Red Sox. The next year, they finally broke the curse of the Bambino. But I'm just like, guys, with the panic, I saw people when we were down 4 runs in game 1.
Giving up.
I'm just mind blown. Those idiots in Queens haven't won a game yet, and I haven't seen their fans go in on them like that.
You know the
there's one fan. There's one fan.
Oh yeah, you know him.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
The funny thing about that 4-0 deficit, they were losing it, and I'm like, I was like, I mean, I didn't think we were going to win anyway. Going into the game because you know who we got out and everything like so. Like we might drop a couple early. We came back and won with a great play at the plate. We come back and win, and I'm like, dude, chill. We're 2-0, then 3-0, then 4-0. Chill. We're doing good. Stop complaining. Well, bullshit. Look, as long as you win, I don't care what your strategy is. You win the game, I'm cool. If your strategy blows the game, then I'm gonna go off. But if you win the game, but these guys like, bullshit. Why aren't you coaching? Why aren't you managing?
And this is the era where it's not the era of the guys that are going to consistently win 21, 22 games. That era is dead. You're lucky if you get one guy every once in a while that cracks 20 because of all the analytics, because of analytics' strong belief that the third time around meeting a lineup, it's offensive driven. It's not on the pitcher's side at that juncture, and
because 6.5 innings, your pitcher's going home. He's
absolutely. I'm just so sick. I'm just so sick of these fans. I'm like, guys, we're 5-1, and how can you possibly complain after winning a 5th game in a row on the road against a team that was 1 win away from the World Series,
right?
And a team that lost the World Series. We are 5-1 against the Astros and the Diamondbacks, and Yankee fans will somehow find some shit to complain about. Mr. Zappy, you were the other team that was in that World Series. What are your early thoughts on your Texas Rangers? I told you about our fans. I'm going to come back to the Yanks in a minute, but go ahead. How do you feel about your Rangers right now?
I am obviously starting pitching. Dane Dunning looked great last night. Andrew Heaney did not look so great tonight. It's everyone's first start. Our bullpen looks good. Leclerc had a little bit of a meltdown a couple days ago. But all in all, the loss of Josh Young, he's going to be out 6 weeks. That sucks because this guy he would have been Rookie of the Year last year in the American League if he doesn't get hurt. And then now here he's out 6 weeks. It's like it sucks because I know he was on pace for a 40 home run season. But all in all, bringing up Justin Foscue for this Rangers team, I think he's a great player. He's very versatile. He can play first, second, and third. So, when you bring someone up like that, he's got a good bat. His defense is good, but it's not on the level of Josh Young. But yeah, I'm happy about the Rangers the way they look right now. It's only game 5. I'm not going to look too far into being 1-5 or 7-0 or anything like that right now. We've seen teams start off 13-2, 15-0, and they didn't even make the playoffs. So it's early in the year.
Yeah. Look what the Rays did last year, and you know what I mean.
Didn't even win a playoff game. They dozed and ran into a buzzsaw, the Texas Rangers, and the Rangers did all that damage in St. Petersburg, mind you. Yeah. What the Rangers did last year in the playoffs, with the expanded format especially, is actually quite impressive. I am an owner of Jung in our fantasy league, so that's definitely a blow to my lineup. But what do? I go out and get Oswaldo Cabrera. This is a dude that's listed at like 4 different positions. Nice pickup. And I said this on a recent show, Idris, Brett. Zappy, of course, will chime as well, even though the Yanks aren't his team. But I wanted to ask, do you think that this is the last stand for DJ LeMahieu now that he has a broken foot or a broken bone in his foot?
Yeah.
They go out and get Birdie from the Marlins. He made a very nice play in the dirt just 2 nights ago, the final game of the Houston series. Then you have, problematic Anthony Rizzo in terms of the back ailments. I think it ultimately comes down to, I'm talking about 2025, just looking ahead for a moment. Do you move forward? Do you move forward from an Anthony Rizzo a year from now if he continues to be plagued with the back issues? Because the thing is, you know what you're getting with the glove.
Yeah.
But, I like the direction of the Yankees right now, but there's a couple of guys that I would love to move on from. DJ LeMahieu, Giancarlo Stanton in that order. I love Anthony Rizzo, but it really just depends on the health of his back, because if there's a metric of his game that I still think is elite, it's his glove. He does have a great glove at first, and he has the right kind of stroke for the short porch in Yankee Stadium. But, last year it was like a combination of having the concussion and then having the back issues. And, I say to myself, you have the emergence of a guy like a Cabrera who could play third. He could play first. And ultimately the question is, how much do you lose on defense if you move on from a Rizzo, and is it tolerable? Because, the guy who's going to replace Rizzo is probably not going to have a better glove. The question is, how much do you lose? Because Cabrera in the early going looks like he really did a lot of work on his stance and on his approach in the batter's box. He's become a lot more patient, I've noticed, in these first 5, 6 games, 7 games. What were they? 6 games. They played 6 games. So I like what I'm seeing there. And, a lot of people were worried about the Judge money. Oh, man, he's great, but this is a long contract, and we don't want this to look like A-Rod or look like Big G.
Yeah.
But the thing is, with Jason Dominguez making a return middle of the season, and he's supposed to be your center fielder, I think it's a nice situation because you could put Judge in left, which has already happened this year. You put Soto in right. And I can't say enough good things about Juan Soto right now. I mean,
we got an arm out there.
we got an arm out there. I just love his approach in the batter's box because he actually makes pitchers look stupid for challenging him as opposed to pitching around him. I don't believe in cowering, but he just, you know what it is? He makes the zone so small for pitchers. Does Juan Soto? Yeah. And the thing I love about Aaron, he can throw. The thing I like about Aaron Judge, he's embracing this because when you're the big dog for the Yankees, pretty much since you became a Yankee, more or less, you win Rookie of the Year when you first join the New York Yankees and get called up. A lot of people feel he should have been the MVP in his rookie year. Only one person has done that in recent memory, and that's not that recent. I think Ichiro Suzuki won MVP and Rookie of the Year simultaneous. Judge almost did that. But the point I'm making is, similar to when A-Rod came over and Jeter was the captain, nobody was questioning that A-Rod was the most talented Yankee. But the true form of leadership is, how do you respond to that? Is it going to have an adverse effect on you? Or are you going to be part of the welcoming committee and be happy that you have a guy that could take a little bit off your shoulders when Judge has carried this team for X amount of years already? And I like it because it's a bona fide audition. Like, the New York Yankees are selling themselves to Juan Soto, and Juan Soto selling himself to the New York Yankees right now. Bretsky, you got both these guys on your fantasy squad. What do you think so far about the early going?
They're kind of off to a slow start. Well, Soto, not, but Judge is kind of off to a slow start. But I mean, that's
just typical for his April.
That's typical. Yeah, April. I mean, same stuff last year. I would love for the fact just to get rid of Big G. I'm so sick of seeing that clown. He gets hurt way too much. And me personally, for the love of the game, I would rather see Rizzo retire as a Cub. Go out the right way, and keep LeMahieu and Cabrera and get rid of Big G over there. You know what I mean? But because like Richie, you already said, Cabrera you can put in 3 different spots. LeMahieu, he can play both corners.
That's the thing that that's the thing that gives if you move on from LeMahieu, that's where you could almost forgive yourself a little.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that Cabrera could play,
Play
this
both,
is the thing.
yeah.
Because LeMahieu, it's not just the injuries. The performance has really divoted down.
Oh, he's taking a dive down for sure.
Yeah, when you I'm sorry. When you consider that this dude won a batting title in 2020, and since then, where his numbers have gone, it's nothing to feel good about. And Cabrera's this team's young, man. You got Peraza that's in the minors and sometimes gets called up. Dominguez is the guy that really excites me. But the reason why G has to go, he clogs up a DH position and doesn't offer anything defensively. You don't want that guy playing in the outfield. He looks lost out there.
You know something? That's my thing. With Rizzo, Rizzo's like 34 years old, bad back. When you get to that point, we're all over 35. Mm-hmm. You get to 35, even as non-athletes, we start feeling it. Now he's an athlete, and he's going through these injuries. I like Rizzo. I mean, when we got him from the Cubs, man, I love Anthony
it was
Rizzo.
a nice addition.
But he's just, you got to move on. LeMahieu, I can never get his name. I'll just say DJ. Say his performance, man. He's climbing up the spot.
Litany. Nice.
Did you see that? I bet you some of my people thought I had I think people thought I had like a mini seizure. I just kept trying to say that word. I got tongue tied. I was
I gotta say DJ.
Bro. Brett was clowning me.
Oh yeah.
Brett was clowning me on that Penn State segment when I was going off on Saquon for a second. I was like,
Anyway, man. Hey, he's like I said, he can't stay on the field. His performance going. You gotta let him go. That's my two things. I think we got to.
It eerily reminds me,
like you said, man. You can play both corners, so you got to let him.
It eerily reminds me of Mattingly with the back issues that were ultimately the demise of his career. I don't think Rizzo is nearly as bad as.
We know we got to move on from that guy. Yeah, he looks good because he lost a little weight, but same guy.
He's just getting ready for retirement. That's all he's doing.
That's all he's doing. Same guy.
Get rid of Big G. Get rid of him. I'm done with him.
He clogs up a DH spot because this is my thing. Soto or Judge deserve to have more days out of the field. And I get it. Judge is a very good fielder, and you want him in the outfield as often as possible.
And it's back.
But I could live with Soto being a DH more times than not, even though I like his defense as well. Because, as the bottom line is that when you consider that they've made so many concessions to keep G in the lineup, it's like the only real reason that makes any friggin' sense is because of the salary. It has little to nothing to do with anything he's done recently. I mean, there have been moments in his Yankee career where he has carried the team in spurts because he is the kind of player that when he gets hot, he gets real hot. But the reality is, if you're really looking at his trajectory the last few years, those are few and far between. This is a former league MVP that won an MVP on a horrible team with no pressure on him. He had a couple of really good years when he first came over. I'm not going to take that away from him.
Yeah.
But when you consider that the Yankees passed on Bryce Harper but went all in on him.
Yeah.
I'm happy they got it right with Soto. They got to give that man the money. I don't care what it's going to cost.
Yeah.
He's the total package in the batter's box. And he's got speed for a big man. And the thing that I like about Soto, and I think he got a bad rap for this, he played in a very toxic environment in San Diego.
Oh my goodness.
Where there were just a bunch of talented dudes that didn't give a shit about winning. They didn't give a shit about one another. They just want to go there and get paid.
Get paid.
And don't get me wrong, he's going to command a big buck. But the point is, you could tell that he's embracing the Yankee culture.
Yeah. That's the main thing. See, that's what I liked about Rizzo. But the back.
I think a lot of that
came from a similar organization.
I think a lot of that has to do with Judge too. You know what I mean? Like him and they're sharing the field and they're sharing the spotlight, and that's comes from the captain.
Yeah.
And you know what it is too, Brett, that I think helps with the transition of Judge becoming who he became?
Mhm.
When you look at the big metric of it, Aaron Judge didn't have the same kind of ceiling when being drafted as, say, name your favorite, let's see. Okay, as a short shot, like a Ken Griffey Jr.
Mhm.
Or as a short shot, like a people got it right with Bryce Harper. Not too many people were confused about Juan Soto. With Judge, it was kind of, his ascension wasn't necessarily foreseen and the impact that he was going to bring. I mean, I'll be honest. When I first saw him in a spring training game and I didn't know who he was, he looked a little raw and a little green in the plate. I'm like, oh, God, no. Another big goofball. This is what we got, Shelly Duncan again?
Right.
And unbeknownst to me, he made an idiot out of me when I consider that this is a dude that, he plays to all fields. But part of being the leader, being the captain, is taking a back seat to other guys.
Yeah.
And in this regard, that's another thing people are complaining about in Yankeeville. Soto is going to make Judge an afterthought. An afterthought? This man hit 62 bombs 2 years ago.
And when healthy, he's a freaking monster.
Absolutely. It's just, I swear, it's like Judge has done everything. He wants to win.
Yeah. He could have.
That's why he is welcoming.
He could have went to LA and got money. He could have went anywhere and got money, but he stayed. He could have went anywhere.
He could have changed his name to Arson Judge and gone to San Francisco.
Yeah, could have done exactly.
When you're right, you're right. A couple other things I've noticed in the early going. We got to shout this out. This is crazy. Bryce Harper, the first player, I believe it said 1900. I got to double check what year it was, but it was a long time ago. You're talking about another century ago.
1900, I believe, is what it was.
Yeah,
I believe it was 1900. The first player since 1900 to enter a game without recording a hit yet and hitting 3 home runs. That is absurd. That is freaking absurd.
I mean, I know it's only game 5, game 6, but
still,
just
crazy.
like that, he put himself in the MVP talks for the National League for having a big game like that.
That's crazy.
No, but I mean, it's been eventful already because we've already had a no-hitter. This has been a weird year.
I know.
Houston gets swept by the Yanks 4-0. Then they go pitch a no-hitter for their first win of the season. Then they look good today again.
Yeah.
You take a team like the Bryce Harper thing that I just mentioned.
We'll look good today again. Houston?
Oh, they imploded later?
They lost. They lost 2-1. I was about to say something about it. Yeah, they're 1-5 now.
I know. I wanted to see if I maybe drew
That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. I didn't expect that start.
We call that a sarcastic segue.
I called that start because I said the loss of Dusty Baker is going to be a lot bigger than people realize.
That's why I don't have them contending for the AL. I think someone's going to do it.
I'm so proud of myself for playing the dumb card there. I was like, they look good tonight. You know why I said that? You know why I said that?
Framber Valdez. We were watching the game since we didn't go to. We were watching at Bito's, but Framber Valdez pitched a great game again today. He's off to a great start this year, but once they pulled him, the issue with the Astros is their bullpen, and if they do not open up a big lead and they don't get in position where they can get to Josh Hader and Ryan Presley, they're done.
I like this. I like when I do that. I'm like, yeah, they were looking good. They look good. Because I went on record yesterday and said, man, everybody was creaming in their pants when they got Josh Hader and they got Ryan Presley and they got the pen and they got the pen and the pen. And for 4 straight days, the Yankees bullpen kept them in every game to hang around long enough to beat the Astros 4 consecutive nights. They beat a Toronto Blue Jays team game 1, no hit them. Houston is 1-5. That is terrific, man.
Dude, it's
fuck you, AJ Hitch.
Exactly.
No, it's amazing right now. Just the little errors that are going on with the team. I mean, I watched them live on Saturday night, and these are things that they wouldn't be these errors they wouldn't normally be making if Dusty Baker was out there to correct them for them or point them out type of thing. You know, it's just right now this team doesn't have much of a direction. I feel like
they're not hitting right now.
They're not hitting. They're not doing anything.
I mean, they scored.
All right.
They scored 10 runs yesterday.
And see, that's why I said I still have Texas because of the manager. That's the factor. The manager.
I'll be honest. I really love what I did. I put the kibosh on the Astros. Anybody that's been watching my show since day one, going back to the Jordan Patrick roots, it was always fuck you, AJ Hinch. It was always our initial show. We literally talked about the scandal with the Astros. That was our very first show ever.
And my hate for Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
And the thing is,
Jerry's about to sell the team, Brett. So your hate will be gone.
Nah,
I don't want him to sell the team. I'm comfortable with the way things have been.
Nah, you're not serious, are you?
That's my feeling. That he's setting up to sell the team. Yes, not to get Richie off subject, but yeah.
No, it's okay.
Man,
he's not on that list too, is he?
Don't sell the team.
Don't tell me he's on that list too, Zappy.
What, the Epstein list?
No, he's not on the list. But I think that whole paternity thing is going to
yeah.
Let me tell you something. And I'm talking about a guy like a Hank Shaw. I don't know how this guy concentrates in the batter's box with that many paternity suits. It takes a real professional. Shout out Major League. At any rate, baseball is back. I like the product that we are seeing. But the good thing about the way baseball has started is that at least for a few days, it has taken a little bit of attention off of all the Shohei shit. Because you know something? When you start hearing about stuff in the real world with all the P. Diddy stuff and the big list and the P. Diddy memes and the can't stop and the won't stop, it kind of takes the seriousness away of if some dude gambled for some other dude, then they're – I'm not diluting it. I want the truth to come out.
Yeah. And
I want Rob Manfred to do what's right. But I think as fans, we don't want to be distracted with that bullshit. We want to see good baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I got right now with that. But believe me, it's going to start ramping up again. This is a tedious situation. This is not something where they're just going to go.
Yeah, no, I honestly don't think we're going to hear anything about this till the end of the season.
I tend to agree.
I mean, we have the FBI involved in something. This is not going to be done within a month or two. This is going to take a lot of time. And you know, and this almost sets up as the Dodgers win the World Series and then Shohei is banned. You know, it's like it's one of those situations where there's going to be a storyline that's going to be following the Dodgers the whole year, and they're going to.
And I blame this on you, Zappy, because I used to like that kid. But when you started with the push, and then we started with that whole America's MVP thing going back to last year.
That was we all knew he was going to be the MVP, bro.
Yeah.
Nah, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays.
And believe me, I don't say that happily because I still think Corey Seager should have won the MVP last year. But, you know.
But I've got a hot take here. I've got a hot take and just a thought of the moment before we move it along to football.
Mm-hmm.
The Kansas City Royals are much improved.
What did I say?
They have a nice little nucleus there.
Mm.
I like that team right now. They go into Baltimore, hanging with the O's. I like what I'm seeing out of them right now.
That's why I put Cole Reagans as one of my possible Cy Young winners for this season. That they have a young nucleus of talent around Bobby Witt that in that division, we already know 88 games can win that division.
Shit,
right there, you know.
81 games could possibly win that division, and I'm not trying to sound like a real jerk. Actually, I'm being a little facetious because unless if there's a lot of injuries, the Twins should be able to still be the best team. But then again, I don't know, man. The Royals, Twins, when you really look at who's the best on each team, like player-wise, offensively, I don't think there's that much of a jump between either one, if I'm really being honest. I predicted Cleveland going into the year, but I was predicting a Bieber Cy Young kind of season.
If I would say the reason why Minnesota has the edge is they have better pitching than Kansas City. They're hands down, they have better pitching. Hitting wise, they're the same. I mean, Detroit right now looks good. They have a young team that's going to be real good in 2 years. But the fact that
who's their manager?
Man, I think he was out in 2017, something about 17, like fireworks and trash cans. I don't know. Something. I don't know.
I don't know. It rhymes with Paul Finch. It rhymes with Paul Finch.
Yeah, what's his name?
Paul Finch.
We need a name, man.
Is it I think, what is it? AJ Snin? No,
Bitch.
Bitch.
AJ Bitch. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, no. To see how Detroit is actually playing much better baseball right now. That they've got good young pitching and they're hitting. They've got a lot of good young talent on that team. Same with Kansas City, Cleveland, and Minnesota's days of going back and forth with this division may be coming to an end. And the White Sox are the White Sox. They're going to be bad for a little while.
Yeah.
I tend to agree. Yeah, the White Sox are not in a good place.
They stay that way.
Before we move it along to our draft talk, I do want to let you guys chime in on the Final Four here. As much as things change, as much as they stay the same, we saw some heat in the women's coming into what's happening here. Zappy, I'll let you fire off. You and Idris, what are your thoughts on what's happening in the women's side of things? I want to get that first here.
All right. I had told Richie earlier today, and my son looked at me and said, well, that's because that's not who she is. But I thought the perfect moment would have been when Angel Reese got fouled out for Caitlin Clark to turn around and start waving at her. I thought that was her moment of redemption to get back at her for what Reese did to her last year when they beat Iowa in the championship. But either way, I mean, come on, Paige Beckers and Caitlin Clark. Oh my God, why can't that be the national title game? And another crazy thing about this is we have the opportunity to see something that's never happened before in college sports, and that is to have a championship game of UConn versus NC State in both men and women's. I mean, shout out
is
to
pretty
NC
wacky.
State coaches.
That is pretty wacky.
And so that that it's like the storylines behind all this. UConn, we thought was going to be there. We thought a lot of people thought Houston was going to be there,
and
they
especially
went
with the men's division, that with the men's tourney, that you naturally when you think of that state, who are the first two universities you always think of before NC State?
Carolina and Duke.
Shoot.
Carolina and Duke.
I mean, a lot of people would say Clemson too, even though we know, I mean, little geographical thing, but no, man, I mean, for the women's to see that USC and UT get knocked out,
awesome,
it is. And it's crazy though, because I love seeing, I'm a huge fan of Paige. I've been a fan of her since her freshman year, taking her to the championship. She is, and she had an unfortunate setback last year, tearing her ACL early on. But to see how she has put UConn on her back during this tournament is unbelievable. And I still think she comes back one more year. She'll be the number one pick in next year's draft.
What's in this one?
A little bit of Gatorade in that.
You know something, good.
No, I was just I'm excited about the women's Final Four more than I am the men's Final Four.
You know what? And just to have Juju, Paige, Angel Reese, Dawn Staley and her runners, and of course the shooter, Caitlin Clark, all coming down to that the final 8. And then Juju going against Paige and Angel going against Caitlin Clark. And now it's collapsing. I picked UConn to win it all this year. I really did. I picked UConn on both sides. As for LSU, I'm an LSU fan. Everyone knows that. However, I'm not gonna lie. When Caitlin Clark was like,
"Hey, okay, here's a question."
I loved it.
How did? Let me ask you a question. Mm-hmm. What is your response to Angel Reese and her post game conference? Do you think I thought
if you can't dish it out, don't say nothing.
I didn't like how she played the victim there, and I was just like, "Are you kidding me right now?"
Threats and all that stuff.
Yeah,
I want to hear that.
Yeah, if you're gonna fire it a year, because once again the internet never loses, and you have the time machine known as YouTube. I personally like to go there for hardcore classics, hardcore classics of the NBA. I'm talking about like Hardwood Classics, Hardcore Classics. Like, what's this guy watching on YouTube? No, but yeah, I know. What's this guy watching?
Yeah, exactly.
Litany.
As much as I'm a LSU fan, I've been one since '79. I root for Caitlin Clark. I love this girl. I love, and see, even with last year, you know, she was still feeling bad because she lost, but she still went on that stage. Look, hey, we're competitors. She came back this year, and she lit LSU up.
But what I liked about
we're
this,
not going home early this year.
what I liked about this is that when you consider, in terms of the collegiate layer, it has that feeler of Bird and Magic.
It does.
In the woman's realm.
It really does.
In the woman's realm. When you consider the personalities and the differential of personalities, talent's not up for debate.
I mean, look at the rivalries we've had in the WNBA, where it started off with a Rebecca Lobo and Lisa Leslie. Now we're at at this level where we're going to see Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark again.
That's a blast from the past, dude. That was the original face of the WNBA because they wanted it to be Rebecca Lobo with the Liberty, but Lisa Leslie ultimately took that seat.
But I feel Caitlin Clark is a better player.
I tend to agree.
And this is outside of the shooting because she led the league in assists and scored. The girl got game. Angel Reese is nice, but I'd rather defend Angel Reese than Caitlin Clark. Because Caitlin Clark is like Steph. You know, it's like you got to pick her up 90 feet. And if not, she's gonna roast you. And she's gonna dish. And yeah, I think she's the better player. And I hope the next level they let these girls play. I mean, it was nice to see them both hug and talk. Yeah, you know, we go back and forth with friends. But I need to see that same fire y'all had in college, take it to the pros. Because see, that's what the WNBA needs. They need that. They need that grind.
We've seen the WNBA take so many steps forward. We've seen women's sports, specifically more basketball and volleyball, but we've seen how it has taken over the country. A lot of that started because of the U.S. women's soccer team and, of course, our women's Olympic basketball team. But, you know, the fact that we now see people talking about Caitlin Clark and, Ice Cube offered her a big 3 contract, you know, like that she's the girl that's going to break the internet, literally. And I mean, this girl has endless potential, but it's only showing the endless potential that these women actually have, you know. I mean,
gosh, play their game.
They let them play their game. Exactly.
I'm getting me an Iowa shirt though. I mean, I don't care. I got to get me a.
You got to get a Caitlin Clark jersey because
that's what I'm talking about. I got to get one. That's my girl, man. I love LSU to death. Angel Reese, Flaugier, I like all them, but it's Caitlin Clark for me.
You know, and what's crazy is whether UConn or
before you go,
Iowa wins.
Before that, let me say something. Zap, Caitlin Clark was waiting for a scholarship to go to UConn.
UConn, I know.
Yeah. Now she's getting ready to play UConn.
Just do the one that I did last time. Zappy, stop talking.
I just had to get because Zappy will say some shit that I'm getting ready to say.
No, it's funny because I didn't realize the clock was.
I got to interrupt him because he'll be like, "Hey, guess what?" And
we're coming up on the 15-second mark. Oh no, Rich, it's okay.
Oh man,
I got this. No, man, but yeah, like I just love the fact that whether UConn or Iowa wins, I mean, I did pick UConn women's to win this year. I'm going to be cheering for either one of those teams against likely what's going to be the undefeated powerhouse of South Carolina.
They can be beaten.
We've seen it time and time again. What South Carolina reminds me of this year, I love you, Brett. They remind me of the Patriots that season where we saw the Patriots get by week 17 against the Giants, 38-35. We saw them get by in the playoffs twice, and everyone kept screaming, hey, rush the passer, get pressure on Brady. That's how you beat them. USC, against Tennessee, they should have lost that game.
They should have lost that game.
They should have lost a few games. they have squeaked by many times where if there's a team that's going to actually catch them, they play them this week, and that's NC State. But until someone beats them, I got to go with South Carolina.
You know what? Caitlin Clark beat them last year.
Yeah,
that's how they got to the championship, and that same five is back.
Mm-hmm. And it almost feels like it's going to be Iowa versus USC again. Yeah. Like it just feels like that's what it's going to be. I mean, what's more interesting to talk about? Undefeated USC, they're could possibly losing their first game since their last loss against Iowa, or NC State,
or like look what happened to the Running Rebels under Tarkanian. They beat the crap out of Coach K's Duke team the year before. I mean, that was, you're talking Larry Johnson, Greg Anthony. That team was loaded.
Armin Gilliam, the Hammer,
Armin, wow, I forgot about him.
Yeah. He played with that Fab Five out of Michigan.
I think a UNLV team would have beat them.
Yeah,
I think they would have beat them.
Yeah, Fab Five were talented, but they weren't mature. UNLV was mature, but Duke just got him on the right night. But Christian Laettner, during that era,
that's why I don't like Duke. That's why I hate Duke.
That's why everyone hates Duke. It's because of
Laettner.
That's why everyone
did ruin it for a lot of people.
There's actually a documentary called "I Hate Christian Laettner."
Oh, really? I gotta look it up.
Yeah,
he's the reason why I hate Duke.
It's actually I don't know. I can't remember if it's on Netflix or Hulu or Amazon, but there's a documentary on there that says "I Hate Christian Laettner."
Christian Laettner is like who did this? Bucky Dent. I hate Christian Laettner. he got one of them punchable faces, man. Like Tyler.
So now we know what to get him. Now we know what to get him at the holiday. Okay, heard.
He got a punchable face, man.
Speaking of punchable faces, Rashee RIce leaving the NFL for NASCAR. Why the NFL has a culture issue, I'm going to say this short and sweet, and then I'm going to let you guys, my panel, really chime in. When you saw the destruction of two young lives, which was the Henry Ruggs situation just a couple of years ago, and it was for the world to see, then you look at Ja Morant, and that's stupidity.
Beyond.
Why anybody would be compelled to be that stupid in the year of cameras and phones and just living under a microscope when you are semi-relevant and semi-important to the masses. You rented the Lambo. The accident was egregious. It could have been worse. There was a mother holding a young girl. Fortunately, nobody died. But the point I'm making is like, when is enough with this shit? I mean, if we make mistakes like that, we don't get. First of all, we don't have those luxuries. Bottom line, but the NFL has a legitimate culture issue with this shit. It's like, bro, why? They have courses to do that shit if you really want to race. You look at the shit with Nick Hogan, basically ending the life, more or less, of a war hero, a friend of his growing up.
Yeah.
A guy who survived a war but couldn't survive his friend.
And
I'm sorry, man.
You think about Rice, I mean, good up and coming player, man. Mad talented.
Absolutely.
And you do this. And the NFL is strange. They'll suspend you for a year for smoking weed.
Yeah, smoke weed and you'll be banished.
Yeah, but anything else, you can beat on women, you can do all.
Oh yeah.
But don't smoke weed.
Ray Rice beat the crap out of his girlfriend on camera in an elevator.
And like we talked about,
2-game suspension before everybody went ridiculous on that.
Yeah,
that's like what they value it.
Just like Ray, I still think he got away with murder. Ray Lewis. It's so many situations, man.
And then they insult your intelligence with the Deshaun Watson thing. We're going to give him an 11 games. Who the fuck does an 11-game suspension?
No.
And what was the first game back? Against his old team.
Against his old team.
So even in the most dirty publicity of moments, the NFL is still thinking about the almighty buck.
He didn't smoke weed. That's why he didn't get the whole season.
No, it's crazy. You look at a guy like Ricky Williams, who so many people had so many horrible things to say about.
Whole career.
You look at a guy like Josh Gordon.
Josh Gordon.
Yeah.
But
were they criminals? No. What these guys are doing is downright criminal shit.
It's fucking reckless,
you know what I mean?
man.
I mean, like, what about what about the kid from Detroit? Their safety there. Didn't he get
Cam Sutton?
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, dumb shit, man. And these guys have all the talent, all the money in the world, and I honestly don't have an answer why they're doing it.
If you want to apply it to even a bigger issue, we're regular people at the end of the day. Oh yeah, working 10-hour shift, driving home.
Our jobs, man. We're losing our jobs.
Driving home. 10
you're losing life. You're losing your life.
Yeah. Driving home, 10-hour day. And you could lose your life because some NFL asshole who has too much shit going at one time is gonna take you out in a Lambo. Motherfucker don't even know how to drive it. I mean, like,
but if you were one of us did that, our jobs don't even come in today.
No, but it's like the crazy thing is you want to know a great way to lose your fans? That's a good fucking way, guys. That's a good fucking way.
And and the thing is, what he's got to realize, even though he's now cooperating with police, he plays for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Exactly.
He does. And let me say this: if he was a Cowboy, he would have been already banned days ago. The moment
I admit,
but no, he plays for Patrick Mahomes, who is the face of football.
He
is the face. He is the next generation of Tom
Brady.
Brady.
Look, Andy Reid's son, 2020, the eve of the Super Bowl.
Yep.
2020 Super Bowl. 2021 was the calendar year. Brett watched that game here at my house. But the point is like, those were children, bro, that could have lost their lives.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the Ruggs thing.
Mm-hmm.
The Ruggs thing was just really absurd.
Mm-hmm.
And it just says to me, like, where is the disconnect?
Issues, man.
When it comes to like a population thing of guys that could make this league, just making this league, and the sacrifices that people have made for you, coming from low income situations in a lot of these cases, to have a chance at generational wealth.
Yeah.
And you're gonna piss it down the toilet because of this shit?
Because while you have all that, if there's one thing even all of us can admit, your boys will always be your boys. And as these athletes come out of wherever they're coming out of, the fact that they are out of a dangerous situation, a bad situation, the hood, however you want to say it, el barrio, whatever you want to call it, they are not going to leave that lifestyle behind because unfortunately, I believe it too. My boys will always be my boys. Those are guys I'm going to stand by with. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say I'd go kill someone right now, but you know what I mean? Right. Like, there's certain guys that it's like, hey, but the fact that they are leading him down that road.
That's the thing. You have to get rid of the tag-alongs.
Yes. Because Henry, that's the difference. That's the difference with Henry Ruggs and this whole situation going on right now. Is Henry Ruggs did this on his own accord. He got behind the wheel. He drank. He killed the girl.
Yeah, he just
did this on his own. He didn't. We don't know if
it's a horrible
there
thing
from others.
He just got fucked up. He got behind the wheel, and he did some dumb shit that had horrific consequences. And listen, I know everybody's different. I don't claim to be a saint, and I don't claim to be anybody's role model, and I don't claim to always make the right choices because none of us do. But one thing I do know is if I caused a car accident of that magnitude and I saw a car burning, knowing that I was behind it, I don't give two shits how many drinks I had, and I don't give two shits if my life is in danger. I'm going to put my life in danger because I might have just taken someone else's, and I'm going to see if I can salvage the person that I just took out. I don't give a shit for nothing. But sitting there on the curb, like, bro. And now you got Rashee RIce.
Well, I mean, hey, another Rice. Weird.
And it's like,
yeah.
The thing is,
Ain't that something?
the thing is like, it just stirs back already a sensitive memory. Not too distant with the Henry Ruggs thing. I mean, I haven't been doing the show that many years. I covered the Henry Ruggs thing on this show.
But you know what?
Think about this. This is what I got to say. I've coached at the high school level. I have been in the United States Air Force. Idris, you were in the service as well. The one thing I always said, though, your responsibility is always, hey, if you ever need anything, you call me. I guarantee you, Andy Reid has used those exact words. If you ever need anything, don't escape the situation. Call me, and we're going to work on it. But instead, you see him and his buddies, 3 friends. Let's go. We got to go. Let's go. And people have them on camera. I'm like, dude, you're not going to escape this. In that moment, if he would have stayed right there after causing a 6-car accident, in which there were children involved, I mean, he knew what was going on. Was he drinking as well? I think he was, because we saw the images of where he was right before the accident.
Am I going to sit here and say that when we were in our 20s, me, you, and Brett, that we didn't do some dumb shit, and we're lucky to say that we walked away without hurting ourselves or anybody else? Yeah, I'm not above admitting that.
Check it out. Before Zappy goes any further, because he's getting ready to say stuff that I'm holding in. So because come on, mute stuff. No, you're getting close to what I'm getting ready to say, because you were like right there. I said, hold up, wait, don't say no more. As the resident black guy, this is where you almost went there, and I was like, please don't say, because I want to say it so badly.
I know
all the people staring there, watching our people. And I'll be the Stephen A. Smith on the panel. I'll be the Candace Owens. Well, I like Candace Owens. I'll be the Candace Owens. I'll be all whoever you want to say. Our people, we love to be seen. We want to show everybody the stupid shit we're doing, period. We put it on camera. We brag about it, because you know why? The only thing we think about is attention and the bag.
I got to say this.
We don't think about integrity. Yes.
To piggyback this, and to the viewers, just want to give you guys a heads up. We're going to, as soon as we're done with this segment, we're going to take a short 5-minute, and we're going to come right back to hit on our draft. I didn't forget about that. I just didn't want to short the content if we had a good convo going.
Yeah, but my people do that, and I'm just keeping it real. They say, oh, why you talk? Because it's a fact. What it is, you guys don't want this. You don't want to take accountability.
I got to call out my cousin here. I could say it because it's a family member. Shouts out Helen. You know, a soldier. She served our country. But she said something yesterday on social that I went to bed with, and I was like, and I wanted to say something, but I let it fly. She basically said, in no uncertain terms, oh, I guess they're not giving, they weren't giving Epstein the Diddy treatment or something along those lines, verbatim. I'm going to say this once and say this only. They are both 2 bags of shit. The facts have not come out completely about Diddy yet, and we'll see how that plays. But there's a distinct difference between a guy like an Epstein and a guy like a Diddy. A guy like a Diddy was still more out in the open. Epstein was more secluded.
Were you Johnny 2 times right there?
No, it's just like when I see this, I'm like, yo. And it reminded me of what Idris said the other day. This isn't about skin tone. This is about a network of shit that goes on.
Nothing to do with skin tone.
In a $1 billion industry, and it bleeds into so many places that you don't even want to know.
You know something, Richie? The only thing different that makes the skin tone is not by those who are coming down. The only ones that make a skin tone is our people. You know why? Because we love to be seen.
But the shit that
I'll
gets me
say
tight
it.
is
We
like
love to be looked at.
the shit that gets me tight, right?
Mhm.
I could understand to a level,
Mm-hmm.
even with the OJ shit with him being found not guilty.
Oh, he did it.
That he kept. I mean, probably did. But the point I'm making is that when you're on the heels
Mhm.
of the LA riots, I could understand to a level
Yeah.
the sensitivity. I could understand that.
But he did.
But this is the shit that bugs me out.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are people suddenly besides themselves about worrying if Sean Combs is getting railroaded? Are you fucking kidding me?
Exactly.
Sean Combs?
That's what pisses me off. That's what
The thing
pisses
that's
me
crazy,
off.
right? This is the shit that I will never settle right with me.
Mm-mm.
You got a billion YouTube videos that we've all watched about the possibility that he was involved in not only Biggie's murder as well as Tupac's.
Tupac's.
I'm sure
But
Leo's
this shit-
too. And
But the point I'm making is like, that didn't seem to bother nobody.
Nope.
But it's like, where's the value here? We already know what they've been doing with the votes with women. They brought that shit back 30, 40, 50 years.
Yep.
NFL, the Ray Rice shit.
Yep.
I guess we know where they stand.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Zappy don't play that shit. I know you don't play that shit. And I know you don't play that shit because all three of you are girl dads.
Four times over. 4 times over.
I mean, for real, bro. For real. Like
Yeah, the way the world is right now and moving forward, I mean, Diddy's probably going to get elected president in like 8 years from now. You know what I mean? Like,
well, that's one of the requirements is to be a criminal and you're a president.
yeah. So it's like, I mean, that's the way the world is now. So it doesn't matter what you've, what you've done or haven't done in the past. You know what I mean? Like, it's the world is so fucked up right now.
It's not about like even a race thing that
It's
gets
not.
my ire. I don't give a shit about that.
It's not a race
The
thing.
thing that trips me out is that people literally on certain pockets on some of these posts, like, bro, I love Ed Lover and Dr. Dre from the old school Hot 97. But I'm like, Ed, what do you mean Curtis Jackson crossed the line? Are you fucking kidding me? That's crossing the line? All the shit that Diddy pulled and Curtis Jackson calling him out is crossing the line. That is the problem.
That's why I have it. And people gonna call me all these names, but I'm the blackest black guy you're gonna meet. They're gonna call me all these names, but we don't take accountability. If we got money, if you have money, you don't have to take accountability. If you don't have money, get his ass. That's my community, and I'm on live saying it. That's my community. We don't accept accountability. Call me whatever you want, but I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna say it. Tell you like
it's just wacky to me.
Period.
The shit that people get worked up
And I'm
about.
not a Republican. I'm like, you're a conservative. Nope, I'm independent. Let me get that out.
It's just crazy to me. It's like,
man. Look, we can come to the end of this show.
Yeah, you're binary independent.
Zappy the other night, and let's come back in 5 minutes.
No. Check this out. I got it. So here's the reason why I'm going to start.
There you go. 20 seconds, Zappy. I'm joking, man.
we will be back in 5 to finish out our NFL segment. Man, I'm fired up tonight, boys.
Let's roll.
This topic got me pissed.